Hello, I'm Mary Lohman, and this is Mondays with Mary. Years ago, I remember realizing and saying, self is not my solution, self is my problem, and I've said it many times since. At the time, there was so much buzz about self-realization and knowing yourself and being yourself and loving yourself, and I realized that our culture's emphasis on self was really missing the mark and causing more harm than good. Many others have echoed the same thought. Tim Keller's sermon, The Joy of Self-Forgetfulness, is one prime example, and I highly recommend you read it. A recent book I read and recommend, Unoffendable by Brant, Hansen, puts it this way: the more we divest ourselves of ourselves, the better our lives will be. And I simply couldn't say it better. Think of anything that's bugging you right now, some anger or resentment, some guilt or shame, maybe some hurt feelings that you just can't forget. Whatever it is, when you are dwelling on that thing that's bugging you, who are you thinking about? I would guess that it's all about you and how this thing or this person or this situation is affecting your life. You know, when we're in the misery mode, it's inevitably because it's all about us. Our world is revolving around us, and that is a recipe for loss of joy, loss of contentment, loss of peace. Really, divesting yourself of yourself is the way to get out of that funk, whatever you're in. Well, what does it mean to divest yourself of yourself? The dictionary says that divest means to rid oneself of something that one no longer wants or requires. Divesting means that there's going to be some action on your part, intentionality to rid yourself of something. Well, in writing to new believers in Ephesus, Paul put it this way: to put off your old self, which belongs to your former manner of life and is corrupt through deceitful desires, and to put on the new self, created after the likeness of God in true righteousness and holiness. It's obvious that Paul also recognized that self is not our solution, self is our problem. And he advises us to put off that old self and put on the new one. In other words, divest yourself of that old self and the one that's full of fear and anger and pride and shame. And this kind of divesting, it all takes place in your mind, in your thought life. You put off the old self, divest yourself of yourself, the less you think of yourself and the more you think and care for others. Of course, we should appreciate ourselves and how God has created us and know that we were created in His image. You should be thankful for His creativity in you and confident that you are loved by Him more than you'll ever know. And then in that confidence, you no longer need to be the center of your universe. You will begin to forget about yourself, and pretty soon you'll realize the joy of self-forgetfulness. So I just want to encourage you to believe that putting off your old self, divesting yourself of yourself, is truly to embrace the joy of your salvation, the joy that comes from self-forgetfulness. It sounds upside down, maybe even painful, but I promise you, once you start down the road of self-forgetfulness, you will discover that you are much better off for it, and you're a much better witness for Jesus Christ. So have a great day.